I was pumped. I was ready. I was excited. I didn't know being 20 minutes late to the party would mean that I was locked out. So, wow, Cursed City, Warhammer Quest, Cursed City dropped over the weekend. The next/newest installment in the Quest series, and it sold out so fast. Not just the exclusives, not just the hardcover and the key to the city, but the base game itself. It is just done, available nowhere, pre-order over, and will there be a second wave at some point? Or was this part, without going all FOMO and conspiracy, was this deliberate on Games Workshop's part to hype it up, to get it to a point with that FOMO machine where just you missed out, too bad? Let's explore a couple of ideas in this vlog, and then out of massive curiosity, I'm going to turn over to you guys. Jealousy mode off. Was anyone able to secure a copy? And I have high hopes that they will reprint it. And I think that's a good possibility, simply because the demand is there. It's a newest title. And for the first year, if we look at and compare the business model of Blackstone Fortress, for the first year, the core of Blackstone Fortress was available. It went out of print for a little bit. It came back in. It went out of print for a little bit. And then it was pretty consistent till about halfway through the expansions. And then it dropped off. So, okay, the massive enthusiasm. Now, there's this duality with me. If you've been following my channel for a while, you know, A, I'm an impulsive person, and B, well, obsessive personality when it comes to gaming, and B, a completionist. So I was very, very excited knowing on day one there were going to be a couple of exclusives. A hardcover book, the key to the city, maybe a special set of dice, maybe a different character. I didn't know what, but looking at the budget, I said, okay, I'm going to allocate a little bit here for those exclusives because that would be really cool to have. I don't know if there were any exclusives for day one Blackstone Fortress. I don't think so. I jumped in about 6 or 7 months later on Blackstone Fortress, but not to get those exclusives. Okay. I mean, I can kind of put that aside. I missed out. I understand Games Workshop does that. I'm not going to the secondary market on eBay where it's just going to be totally beyond control. But the core Cursed City, for that to sell out so fast, I don't think it was a matter of production numbers. And I don't know the numbers, but I'm making these numbers up. I don't think it was like, okay, Games Workshop has 1,000 copies and they're going to sell out. I think they did look and make a good guesstimate and say, these are the number of copies that were going to sell out. And I do think it kind of took them by surprise. I do. But that enthusiasm shows not only the strength of the Quest series, but also shows the fact that the Quest series in this kind of Warhammer fantasy, Age of Sigmar, that type of scenario and setting is massive. That demand is there. Now, I expect a reprint, absolutely, or a continuation or a wave 2, whatever we want to call it, because that was going to happen anyway. Maybe they're going to crank them up faster and try to get it a little bit sooner. But what I kind of wonder, and Games Workshop has been walking a very fine line with this, they have a number of expansions, big box, small box, character packs, tie-in to AOS, whatever it's going to be, more or less planned. And I know they're working on the molds and they've got everything set up with the models. I wonder if this has caused them, maybe this is a good thing, right? Because we want a lot of content. We want to continue the adventure. We want to continue the story. Maybe this has caused them to rethink that and now say, hey, maybe we should add some more content moving ahead, or maybe we should add kind of a bigger box series or some other type of expansion. Will it cause them to rethink it? So your thoughts? Yes, naturally, I was a little bit disappointed, but from the perspective of jumping into the game, I believe it's still going to happen. I'm still planning to have it happen. And this is a good thing because it's bought me a little bit of time to power through some BattleTech models and finish up painting some of my Blackstone Fortress and maybe have another run through the fortress itself. So this way I am positioned and I am ready. The last time I saw something like this sell out so fast, so crazy, this was a number of years ago, was Space Hulk. We knew Space Hulk was coming, a reprint, and correct me if I'm wrong. Space Hulk, back in the day, the update, the new printing one, that was the first time Games Workshop brought something back, so to speak. And they re-imaged it and made the production value fantastic. But the enthusiasm from that was not only for Space Hulk. Players like me were like, I want Space Hulk. I want to play it. But also the fact that the Blood Angels and the Gene Stealers included, people wanted those for the Tyranid army. And that, I remember being able to secure a copy of that, and it sold out, maybe not as fast as Quest, but it sold out fast, and they didn't do a reprint. And there was no future expansions put out. But I think Warhammer Quest is going to be different. I'm going to position myself, get pumped up, so when it does restock, I'll go with it. I'm not planning to go on eBay and buy it off the scalpers and go in that direction, simply because there's no reason to. I mean, the Quest is literally started, and it will eventually be available back at some other point. So turning it over to the comments, how do you guys feel? Was it a deliberate plan by Games Workshop to generate massive FOMO? I mean, you go there to buy, it's sold out, and you're like, all right, well, let me buy some Space Marine stuff anyway because I'm already on the site. I don't know if it's something like that. Or do you believe just they absolutely miscalculated, once again, and at some point it will be second wave / reprint? And do you know anybody, yourself or anybody else, that have been able to secure a copy of The Cursed City? And if you have, how far are you away from White Plains, New York? Because I'd love to jump into The Cursed City and start exploring it.